Welcome back to my workshop. Now today I'm going to do a quick review on the welding mask that I used in one of my previous videos. Now this is by SIP, okay, or SIP. It's an automatically dimming welding mask. It's a Meteor 2300. Now I used this when I was repairing the fence in my previous video and I'm quite impressed with it. So let's have a look. Now normally when you buy quite a small welder, normally a MIG welder, you'll get a mask like this. Now these are okay, they're better than not using a mask, but you have to hold them with one hand. They're a bit wibbly wobbly and they're not fantastic. There's no auto dimming, it's just literally a dark screen. As soon as you strike an arc, then you can sort of see what you're doing. But the automatic dimming mask I've got here, you can actually see through the screen until you strike an arc and then the screen goes dark, okay, which protects your eyes. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly have a look at this, take it out of the box, see what you get. This was bought from Toolstation for £39. They do another model which is almost identical, which is £49, but the only difference I can see is the other one has got some flame graphics on the side. The specs appear to be the same. I may be wrong, but that's what I could see. Okay, so in the box you get literally the mask and a book. Okay, the mask. Right, when you get it, it's got a cover over the inside and the outside of the screen, which I didn't peel off properly. It's just a little plastic cover. Yeah, looks very Darth Vader-ish, I must admit. Right, and inside you've got all the controls. So let's have a look at those. Right, so before we look at the controls, it's got a headband here which is adjustable on the back. Okay, so even if you've got a teeny tiny head like I've got, you can get it so it fits comfortably. It's got padding on the front here. Obviously if you're going to be using it for quite a while, you don't want to end up with a sore head. And it's got two lots of adjustment on the top, okay, for the top of your head, so that'll adjust the height of the shield. Okay, so this adjusted really quickly, really easily to fit my head, and I have a lot of trouble getting anything to fit my head. All right, and it's very comfortable. Okay, so I used it for about an hour or so and yeah, no problems whatsoever. Okay, so look at the controls. Right, so I've quickly removed the headband so we can see the controls here, and what you've got is basically three separate controls. You've got a shade, a sensitivity and a delay. Now these are all adjustable. Now the shade will adjust how dim it becomes. Sensitivity will obviously, when you're using different welders and the amount of current you're using, will give a different amount of light intensity basically. So you can adjust this. There's a table in the instructions to tell you what to set this to, depending on what type of welding you're doing. And finally a delay. Okay, you can delay how quickly the screen dims. This can be handy. I've just left it on its basic setting and that worked fine for me. And at the end here you've got another switch which is a 3-position switch for welding, grinding and cutting. Now obviously you can use this mask for welding, which is obviously what it's designed for, but you can also use it for grinding. So if you're preparing work you can use the same mask, and if you have it set to grind then the mask won't dim while you're grinding, so you just have a fairly clear screen, okay, because otherwise it will just dim when you don't want it to. Okay, I've obviously only used it on welding at the moment, so I've left it set on that. Okay, so that's the basic controls, and it's also got a test button here, and I'll show you how that works now. Okay, so I've turned all the lights off in the workshop, and what we're going to do is we're going to quickly have a look at a torch. Here's a torch. Okay, and I'm going to look it through the mask. Okay, and this is what you can see. So you can see quite clearly the torch. Now if I push the test button, what will happen is the screen will dim, but then the camera will take over and auto brighten it. But you'll see how quickly the screen dims. Ready, 3, 2, 1. Okay, on and off. Okay, so you can still see what you're doing. Obviously the intensity of the light from a welder is going to be brighter than this, but it's just to give you an idea of what actually happens. Okay, so dim, bright. dim, bright. Okay, let's get the lights back on so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, same test here with the lights back on in the workshop so you can actually get a better idea of what's happening. Okay, ready, dim, bright, dim, bright. Okay, right, while we're here, these bits here, that one there and that one there, they're a little battery compartments. Now when I got the mask, it already had batteries in it and they're all working, so I've not had to change them yet. But this is where you would change them. Okay, right, next bit. Okay, just to give you a quick idea of what it actually looks like, I've got my little pretend GoPro here. I'm going to look at the welding through the mask like this, just so you can see what you can actually see. I've got my little welder set up here, and I'm just going to quickly weld a little piece of wire, metal. Okay, so let's see what that looks like, and this is what you'll actually be able to see. Okay, so hopefully you could see from that little video clip that the dimming is quite effective. You can actually see what you're doing, and when you strike the arc, the screen dims enough to protect your eyes. Now, I'm impressed with this for, you know, however much it was, £39. It's very good. You used to have to spend 200 quid on a mask like this. For the amount of welding I do, which is not a lot at all, this is going to be ideal. I can keep it safe, and then it's going to work whenever I need it. All right, so that was the SIP Meteor 2300 from Toolstation, £39. Would I recommend it? Yes, I definitely would. Okay, much prefer that than one of these things. All right, these are okay in an emergency, but these are much better. And say the fit is quite good, it's quite comfortable, and you can do that. All right. Okay, right, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.